earlier today, it was a big story about Rammstein, whatever Steen. I can't pronounce it, so let me know in the comments the best way to pronounce their band name. I listen to the bands, but I don't study how to pronounce their names. Maybe I should be better at that. But anyways, Rammstein was all over the news after two members kissed on stage in Russia, which is a big no-no. They are very anti-LGBT there, and it's actually a crime. They can be arrested for it. There are people who have been violently attacked. Really, really terrible the way people are treated over there in Russia, and this is something that could get them in a lot of trouble. And Rammstein fans, obviously, they loved it. It was a big thing on the internet for them to support from fans around the world, people who thought this was a very brave move for them to be in another country. At any time where this is a crime, they could have been stopped, they could have been detained, who knows what could have happened to them. But I immediately began to think, how was Russia going to respond if they were no longer in the country, if they weren't going to be detained? This means that the state-run media was essentially going to respond on behalf of the government, like they often do. And I was right, they did have a response. I Googled some Russia state-run media organizations, and I used Google Translate to see what they were reporting on when it came to this Rammstein story. And propaganda is real. The way that the other countries around the world covered this story versus the way that the state-run media in Russia covered it is quite hilarious. And those of you who are much smarter than me in the comments, please let me know, are people in Russia not able to access every other news site in the world on the internet? Like, are they restricted from certain websites like people in China might be? That's a serious question. I don't know, because then it might make more sense. But when you can Google it, why would they report the story in this way? So let's take a look at how the Russian media and the Russian government essentially covered this story. All right, so here we are. We've got the article up. We have pulled it up. It's RIA, which according to Google, again, RIA is Russia's international news agency until 2013 and continues to be the name of the state-operated domestic Russian language news operating agency. So this is, again, their state-run news agency. So up on the screen now, we have the article, and the article reads as follows. Let's translate it. So, Rammstein group confessed love to Russian fans. Now notice the picture. There's no picture of what actually happened. Moscow. Rammstein's group has confessed love to Russian fans on their Instagram. Russia, we love you, wrote Rammstein in Russian in the comments to the photos from the concert held on July 29th. The next performance of the group will be held in St. Petersburg on August 2nd. The Rammstein Stadium Tour of Europe started on May 22nd, and then blah, 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 blah. No mention of them kissing. How convenient. Let's check another state-run media group. All right, this is called the Rossiya Kasada Gazeta. I don't know how to speak Russian, so. All right, let's translate it. Today, here it is, another one, another government-run media outlet. Here it is. This is great. Rammstein, Russia, we love you. The Rammstein group, which died away last Monday in Moscow at the stadium, thanked Russian fans on their social networks. On their official pages on Facebook and Instagram, the musicians published a message in Russian. Russia, we love you. It's worth noting that the recordings accompanied, as usual by the group, with a provocative snapshot made during the concert and recorded a very moment of performance with the participation of guitarist Paul Landers. And they do not actually say they're kissing for some reason. It just says a provocative snapshot made during the concert. They don't say they're kissing. They just refuse to say it. That's very weird. So that's quite interesting. You can see clearly there is a big difference in how the state-run Russian media is going to cover something. They can't even acknowledge they were kissing in the photo to the way that the media of the rest of the world covers it for the most part. Very interesting, and we're going to follow this very closely. Who knows, maybe Vladimir Putin will respond, but probably not. They seem to just not want to even acknowledge it or go there at all, because there are probably a lot of people in Russia who really like Rammstein. A lot of metalheads in Russia. So That is all for now. Thanks so much for joining us here today at Rockfeed. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking hard rock and heavy metal news. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you all very soon.